My name is Olivia Negrean. I'm an actor and a playwright. I'm Romanian. I am based in London, and I'm here today with a team of 6 other people to perform Feast at the International Shakespeare Festival in Chisinau with a very lovely name called United by Shakespeare. And I'm here to tell you a little bit about my show. It's called Feast, a play in one cooking. I wrote it in 2017. I wrote it because I love Shakespeare.
Not because you love food.
I love both. I love cooking with friends, and I love Shakespeare. And I wanted to, well, I was initially inspired by Top Girls by Carol Churchill. And for those who know or those who don't know, it's a play where historical characters, female historical characters, come together and they eat together. They don't cook, but they eat and they talk. They each get a chance to talk about their lives. And I just had this idea of what would happen if women from Shakespeare had a chance to meet. Would they become friends? What would they talk about? And I kind of started from there, the play. And at the time, I had already known the director, Philip Parr, who directed Feast.
But how did you know already him?
We met. I auditioned for a project he was going to do a couple of years before that. That project didn't end up happening. But when I auditioned for that project, which was a contemporary piece of writing, he randomly kind of asked me to do a Shakespeare monologue, because obviously Shakespeare is his thing. And I did that monologue, and we stayed in touch when that project didn't happen. And then he got invited to the Shakespeare Festival in Craiova, which was the beginning of a relationship with the festival there as well, where we also performed Feast last year, where you've seen it. So yes, we collaborated for a few years, and then I told him about my idea, because I knew if I pitched this to him, I would get some good feedback. Because of his vast Shakespeare knowledge. And he thought it was great. And we knew that there was a festival in Dansk that was running alongside their own International Shakespeare Festival. And that one was focused on contemporary writing that was connected to Shakespeare. So this was just perfect for us and for them. And, well, basically Feast is about 6 women in Shakespeare's plays that get together and cook and talk, and some interesting things come up. I don't know how much I want to say about the plot, maybe.
Yeah, just say a little bit. Because...
yes, they basically, it's quite a simple premise, but it feels very special to perform it and to watch it, I think, from what the audience tells us, because there are these connections that happen between the women. They become friends. They get to connect with the audience. I think their experiences are sometimes quite similar to just the women's experiences in general. And there's a little bit of magic that happens, so they have a chance to perhaps rewrite the stories that Shakespeare wrote for them. And there's a debate about what that would mean for the world, for themselves, for literature. And they have to make a decision on whether to rewrite Shakespeare or not. And I think what they decide to do is very not selfish and just thinking about the value of women's stories in general being shared. I think we need more of that. So that's what the play is trying to do, just to share more about women's experiences. It is about Shakespeare characters, but ultimately it's about female friendship, I think, and this connection that women often have, whether they're cooking or shopping or chatting or, you know, gardening or having big careers in whatever field. I think women can establish very great friendships, and ultimately that's what it was about for me.
Yeah, but man has to also.
Yes, of course. I mean, I think it's inspiring for anyone to watch it, because I guess what women are very good at is sharing about their emotions and their feelings. And probably men don't do that enough. There's a camaraderie that I think comes a lot from, like, you know, sports and fighting, but I think they need to talk more.
So actually this is your independent story. It's a science fiction story actually, about women in Shakespeare's time, or in this time.
I think it's timeless.
Good.
It's about what happened then, but it's also about what happened to, like, any actor or woman that has played those characters. And
Which characters do you mean exactly?
So we've got Isabella, Ophelia, Lady Macbeth, Lady Anne, Emilia and Imogen. So 6 different plays, 6 different characters.
Why did you pitch only these 6?
They are definitely some of my favorite. I had a longer list, but ultimately I wanted them to be quite different. I wanted some of them to be royal. I wanted some to be the complete opposite, like sort of working class, I guess, with very different experiences. I wanted a character that also had the experience of pretending to be a man, of dressing up, to see how they experience the world, and just like different interests that they had, so you could create a little bit of conflict, I guess, or...
Good. So you cook during the show. How long is the show and what do you cook?
It's about an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 15. We cook, it's kind of like a whole meal, you know, there's a little bit of everything, but it's not, you know, it's not fine dining, but we enjoy it. There's some soup, there's some salad, there's bread and butter, there's a bit of dessert, there's wine, so a little bit of everything.
So at the end of the show everybody can eat?
Yes.
You invite people on the stage?
We invite people on stage, and there's a little bit of food just to, like, you know, we can't cook for we can't cater for everyone, but it's about, again, like sharing something together, and mostly the food is like a pretext to get people there on stage with us, but the goal is to have a conversation and see how it doesn't happen very often that you get to speak to the actors straight away.
Where have you been and where was a really beautiful collection?
So we've been to quite a few places. We've toured internationally.
Where?
So we've been to York, where there's a Shakespeare Festival that Philip runs in York. We've been to Gdansk, to Verona, to Craiova, to Budva in Montenegro. We've also done it in London at a festival, and now we are in Chisinau. They were all very, very special, like very special performances and experiences, but obviously being in Craiova was really big for me because it was in Romania, and I'm Romanian, and it was just amazing to be there, to kind of bring it home in a way. And because I'd already worked as part of the festival in 2 other instances on Philip's shows, so yeah, it was just very special to be there and to bring the rest of the cast, who are also international, and to bring them to my home country.
They are coming from where, the cast?
So Italy, Sweden, Australia, Canada. There's a bit of an extensive cast because we had to replace, just life happens, but yeah, people tend to come into the cast and then they stay, you know. Everybody wants to stay as part of the ensemble But yes, kind of all over the world, really, like,
Yeah.
which has been, yeah, really special.
You
as
play
well.
as well?
Yes, I play Ophelia.
Ophelia, very good. Always you played Ophelia?
Yes, yeah, we didn't,
You don't
although,
change characters.
no, I think everybody's quite precious about their own character. Yeah, this.
How was the relationship with Philippa as director?
Well, it was very constructive in the beginning, especially like we had a few conversations when I was doing my research, and it's just very nice to have someone that is interested in the same thing and has a lot of knowledge, and obviously he has so much experience in directing Shakespeare. So yeah, it was very, very special to be able to have those conversations in the beginning, and then I basically just wrote it and had a couple of drafts, and we discussed it, and it was quite ad hoc in a way. It's like, okay, it's written. Do you know five other actors that can be in the show? And I said yes, and I messaged them, and we all came together and read it in my kitchen, and everybody said yes, let's do it.
And you cooked?
And at the time we didn't, yeah, it was too advanced at the time. It took us quite a while. I think the longest that we needed in rehearsal was to figure out the cooking, and when we can chop, and when we can cut, and when we can make noise, and when we stop, and when do we move things from one place to another, and how do we set up the table. And it was those kind of mechanics of cooking that took the longest to figure out.
What's next now after Chisinau?
Well, we are hoping to go to more international festivals. There are some in Europe that we haven't been to, so we'll see how that goes. And it's always a dream of mine to hopefully perform it again in London, because that's where I live, but it's quite difficult. Funding has been cut. There isn't that much available, but all these things are still in the works, so hopefully.
And what's your personal future?
I want to write more. I have been writing, and I want to carry on writing. And I'm quite involved in playwriting at the moment, so I'm focused on that, and obviously I love acting, so it's both of these things
How is
together.
London for you?
I love London. It's also quite difficult. Yeah, you have to juggle keeping up your creative life and doing things and making things because it's what you love and what you're passionate about, but and then you also have to have another job, because that's the reality of it. You have to, and I'm very lucky. I love my day job.
Which is?
I am a book buyer, yeah, at a cultural institute. So yes, I'm still involved. I guess it's still a creative role, but yes, London can be quite tough. You have to be very resilient, and you have to have a great group of friends that can support you, because I guess as an immigrant you're away from family, and friendships are really important. I've learned that, and I'm very lucky to have a lot of friends, and the cast as well. We've become quite close. Yeah.
Are you happy?
Yes. Yeah, and very happy to be here. It's always so special to do a festival. They feel, once you've done a few festivals, it feels like you know a little bit how they work, but then they are also all very different, and the audiences are very different, and you get to discover a new city and meet new people, meet the actors from that city, see how they work. It's very special. So yeah, this brings me a lot of joy.